continuation of the digestion. Previously we discussed about that one, digestion. Digestion is nothing but it is a catabolic process. We know about that one, metabolism. Metabolism is the sum of total of reactions occur in a human being. Again, metabolism divided into, we know about that one, two types. One is catabolism and second one is anabolism. Anabolism means construction of the materials. Coming to the catabolism, destruction. So here, digestion is a catabolic process. Catabolism means destruction. Means the complex molecules or complex substances which are converted into simple absorbable materials. So this is destruction. So catabolism means destruction of the materials. Then coming to the digestion, the digestive system. Digestive system includes or associated or consists, one is alimentary canal and second one is associated glands. Along with these two, another associated structures also present. Associated structures. So what are the associated structures? Our mouth consists of teeth, tongue, and liver, and pancreas, which are associated structures. So the glands which releases the secretions into the alimentary canal. The structures which helps in the digestion of food materials, like teeth, which cutting the food material, which helps in the cutting the food material, and tongue, which rotates the food material from one region to the other region and one direction to the another direction. Again, liver and pancreas, which is directly contact with the alimentary canal, but the secretions which released into the alimentary canal, which helps in the digestion of the food materials. So coming to the alimentary canal, which is 5 to centimeters, 7 centimeters in length or long, and which is a long coiled muscular tube and which begins with anteriorly mouth and posteriorly and anus posteriorly. So they have two types of openings. One is mouth and second one is anus. Whereas alimentary canal, what are the regions including the alimentary canal? Means mouth, which leads into the buccal cavity, which opens into the pharynx. Pharynx leads into the esophagus. Esophagus opens into the stomach. Stomach opens into the small intestine, whereas the small intestine leads into the large intestine, The large intestine opens out through the anus. So these are the pathway of food material from the mouth and the waste material which are releases through the anus in the form of fecal matter. So now we will discuss from each part of the alimentary canal. We will begin with the mouth. So mouth is an anterior opening. Mouth is the anterior opening. The first part of the alimentary canal, which is mouth, that is the anterior opening. Coming to the mouth, which is surrounded by one pair of lips. One pair of lips. And coming to the upper part of the upper internal part of the buccal cavity, which is consists teeth, the pink color region which is called gum, and this is teeth. Each lip attaches with the gum through a small or thin folding transverse fold that is called labial frenulum. Labial frenulum. See this. Lips are attached to the gums with a transverse membrane that is called labial frenulum. Here it is. This is the lip and this is teeth. The teeth which are inserted into the gum attaches to the gum. The lips which are attaches to the gum through a transverse fold, that is one type of mesenteric region, mesentery, that is called labial frenulum. And again, lips, the movement of lips which are controlled by a specific muscles, these are called orbicularis oris muscles. Movement of lips which are regulated by orbicularis oris muscles. The orbicularis oris muscles which are a part of, which are derived from buccinator muscles which are attached to the maxilla and mandibles. The buccinator muscles which are attached to the maxilla and mandibles. These muscles which are considered as a facial muscles. See this, and this part is considered as a facial region. The facial muscles which are controlled by a specific facial nerves are regulated by facial muscles or facial nerves. And around our face is composed of 21 muscles. Among all these 21 muscles, they controls various type of mimetic. Mimetic is nothing but facial expressions during the aggressive conditions, during the happy moments, and during the sad moments. We are feeling various types of expressions in our face. So that is mimic nature. That mimic nature are the mimic movements, especially the mimic movements which are regulated by 21 muscles. Among the 21 muscles, the movements of lips are regulated by orbicularis oris muscles. The orbicularis oris muscles, which are connected to the fascinator muscles, which are a part of facial muscles. The fascinator muscles, which are attached with the maxilla and mandibles. And coming to the another one, this is the upper lip, and it is lower lip. When we see the upper lip of human beings, which is a small depression, that is called philtrum. That is called philtrum here. That is called philtrum, which is a beauty sign. Beauty sign of human being. Once again, the upper lip has a small depression at the middle part of the region, which is called philtrum. It is a beauty sign of human being, which is not present in the lower lip. And coming to the other point, in whales and platypus, lips are generally absent. Lips are generally absent. Somewhere else, some scientists say they have immobile lips. Immobile lips. When you observe whales, and second one is platypus. When you observe the platypus are nothing but duck-headed mouth or animals. The platypus lips, which are extended or moved forward, the structures which are developed from the maxilla, which are not a part of the lips. Then, according to the some scientists, whales and platypus don't have lips. They don't have lips. Some scientists say whales and platypus have immobile lips, whereas some says they don't have lips. And coming to the another part, in rabbit, the upper lip has a small cleft, not a depression. Depression means which is not divided into the partitions, but whereas in cleft, which divided into the two partitions. The cleft region is called hair lip. Means through this cleft in rabbit, the first pair of teeth, incisors, which are clearly visible, means the teeth that is especially canines are clearly visible in the rabbit through the cleft region. Is the another important character in the hair lip of rabbit. Coming to the next part of the alimentary canal, the mouth leads into the buccal cavity or nothing but oral cavity. Buccal cavity consists teeth. Buccal cavity consists teeth and tongue and the salivary glands, which are opens into the buccal cavity also. So these are the two structures which are present in the buccal cavity. The salivary glands, which are opens into the buccal cavity. Coming to the buccal cavity, here these are nostrils, and this is upper lip, and this is lower lip, and the opening is mouth. This is called buccal cavity. And with the nostrils which opens into the cavity, that is called a nasal cavity. Here a substance which is called palate, which separates the buccal cavity and nasal cavity. This is palate. Palate, which is made up of maxillary bones. Palate, which is made up of maxillary bones. Again, palate, which divided into two regions. Palate, which divided into two regions. The anterior part, which is hard palate, and later one which is soft palate. Soft palate. The hard palate enters the palate, which separates the nasal cavity and buccal cavity. The hard palate, which consists a transverse folds. When we touch the palate with our tongue on the anterior part, we will feel like it's a small foldings. That foldings are considered known as palatine rugae. Palatine rugae. Where the soft palate, which hangs down into the buccal cavity, where the buccal cavity leads into the pharynx, that is called uvula. And which is surrounded by, means below the palate, which consists a specific structure, that is called gum. This is gum. Teeth which are inserted into the gum. Teeth which are inserted into the gum or embedded into the gum. The buccal cavity, which is divided into another two regions. Buccal cavity divides into two regions. That is one vestibule. The space between lips and teeth. Lips and gum along with the teeth. When we close our teeth, so the space between the lips and the teeth or gum, that is called vestibule, and the remaining part which is open, that is called oral cavity. So these are the two regions present in the buccal cavity. Again, another part which is present in the buccal cavity, that is called tongue. Then the buccal cavity leads into the pharynx. Whereas the salivary glands, which releases their secretions into the buccal cavity. Later on we will discuss about the types of the salivary glands, and which the teeth and tongue, with the help of teeth and tongue, which grind the food material, with the help of saliva, which modify into a specific round-like substances, that is called bolus, is the buccal cavity.